Now we're ready for part 4 of Spinnerbait. It's going to get a little more in depth in these things. You ready to run and gun? It's time for blast off. Let's go. Hey guys, Todd here with you. Welcome back to Bassin 101. Man, part 4. Today is going to be about double Colorado spinnerbaits. Now, double Colorado to me, you hear Sammy. Double Colorado to me can be, the standard double Colorado, but I said this a couple of weeks ago, the spin dance with these wide, they call them wide willow leaf, but they have a lot of thump. They're kind of almost like an Indiana blade, but they have a lot of flash. So these I actually consider to be double Colorado because they don't run very deep, okay? Because they tend to lift the bait up a lot more than a willow leaf does. So again, 5 colors. I got the chartreuse in white, chartreuse lime and white. I got chartreuse and lime, blue chartreuse, and black. Still same 5 colors, all nickel blades. I don't fool with blade colors. This may seem like it's a complicated system, but by having all nickel blades, it actually keeps it very simple. I just adjust the skirt for the watercolor. Chartreuse and white, like I said before, is my clear water spinnerbait. And this just happened to have the smallest of the double Colorados, and it also has the old fluted style blades that were out back in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. And to me, this gives you flash in clear water, but not as much flash as a Tennessee diamond blade does. Okay, so again, this is clear water, but I'm not creating a tremendous amount of flash. Now, on a cloudier day, or maybe a little bit more watercolor, then I can go to my chartreuse lime and white, and this one does have a Tennessee diamond blade. See how much of a difference there is in that flash? There's a lot more flash in that blade than there is in this. Now, a lot of guys, I know we're using the silicone spinner baits. A lot of guys will use just a flat blade. What I mean by a flat blade is just a standard nickel, gold, whatever, just a polished blade. No reflection to it whatsoever. And they think that's the shiniest blade you can get. That's actually wrong, because you're getting the main reflection off one spot in that blade as it rotates. But if you use like a hammered blade, or a blade that has any kind of an indentation in it, whether it's fluted like this, or just say a row of diamonds like that has right there, that's going to create more flash than just a plain blade. Now, don't get me wrong, I like plain blades. That's probably my favorite blade of all. If I'm throwing the more modern spinner baits, a plain blade is what I prefer to throw. But the old school hammered blades and things like that, they actually put off more reflection. So keep that in mind when you're trying to choose spinner baits. These old rubber skirts like this, they're not available anymore naturally. But you can still get rubber skirts, and you can build your own spinner baits with this stuff. You can get these Tennessee blades off of lure parts online. You can also get them off of Netcraft. There's a little bit different diamond shape to them. But I don't think they're as shiny as the old Stray Kings, because I polish them too. But you can still get them. I think size 4 is the biggest you can get, which is what this is right here. This is a size 4. That's about the biggest you can get in those kind of blades. But again, personal preference. It's what you like to throw. Where do I throw a double Colorado? I throw a double Colorado if I'm looking for vibration and I'm fishing shallow water. Or let's say I want to wake it up on top. I can take that dude and wake that thing right up on top and just keep it coming back to me. And I've said this again before, I'm not a fast spinnerbait fisherman. So using a double Colorado allows me to fish it just a little bit slower. I can kind of keep up with it a little bit better. But because of double Colorado, it brings it up. It's also a really good flutter bait if you're looking for the extra flash. Say on a windier day, you can throw this in the exact same place as you would throw a single thumper, like I showed you last week, and it just gives you a little more flash in that wind. But remember, this isn't going to sink like a single thumper. This is going to have a more gentle sink to it as you're fluttering it. And again, like I said, fluttering again is when you throw it up on the bank and you crank it real slow and that thing just kind of pendulums back to you. That's fluttering. And a lot of times on rocks, steep banks, if you're fishing riprap, or like in the river, I've got steep banks that have a lot of rock and brush on it. I'll throw it right up on that bank, sometimes drag it in the water and just start slowly cranking it. It'll flutter right back to me. That way you can keep it kind of deep. But to me personally, if I'm fishing a double Colorado, to me deep is fishing it out of sight. So if I have clear water, I can see 4 or 5 feet down. If I'm getting it just out of the line of sight where I can't see it, I know I'm fishing 5, 6 feet deep. If I'm fishing stained waters, 2 or 3 foot of visibility, if I fish this out of sight, I'm keeping it in the 3 foot range. That's, to me, is what a double Colorado is. It's also really good if you've got heavily stained water. That's a chartreuse and lime right there. That, to me, is my muddy water spinnerbait. I would put a bright chartreuse trailer on this thing. I got big blades on here. These old spin dances come with almost a number 4 in the front and about a number 6 double willow in the back. And that's just a good muddy water spinnerbait. You don't have to have chartreuse blades. You don't have to have gold blades. But if that's what you throw them. Because that's what you have confidence in. I've got spinnerbaits from other companies like my Stanleys and stuff like that I have for muddy water, and they have chartreuse blades, they have gold blades, all that kind of stuff. So that's double Colorado. It's a very simplified selection as far as the colors. It's also a very simplified spinnerbait. It's up to your imagination where you can throw it, but basically this is a shallow water bait or shallower water bait, and produces a lot of flash. It also produces a lot more vibration than, say, a tandem willow or a double willow. So that's all I got for that, guys. Double Colorado spinnerbait is probably one of my number 1 go-tos as always, especially from fishing shallow water. And it's, again, good around cover too. So until next time, may the Father bless you, keep in Yeshua's name. And as always, bam, fish on. Look at that shine.